So, has the Belgrade Waterfront project succeeded in killing the neighborhood of Savamala like everybody predicted when they announced the project? In this video, we're going to take a look and discuss the topic. Well, folks, here we are at Belgrade Beat on the Streets once again, actually in the park, and basically just taking a walk in the neighborhood because, yeah, look at this. It's like Waterfront project. People predicted that it would never happen, but of course they actually are building it and people are actually moving in, and it's a neighborhood with its own culture now, if you can call it culture, because a lot of people that I know specifically really predicted that it would be like the demise of culture, at least for this neighborhood over here of Savamala, which was filled with a lively party scene, a lot of really interesting sort of like let's say more alternative establishments, artistic culture. Yeah. And basically now we're going to take a walk and see what's happened now that the waterfront has been built and they've shut down the train station. Bus stations here, yeah, still, but yeah, who knows what's next for the bus station, because I have a feeling like once people move into the waterfront, they're not going to want all these weird people hanging around the neighborhood by the bus station. They're going to kind of be like, oh, get them out of here. Yeah. So the waterfront project, it really represents a sort of like, for me, this transition of Eastern Europe into this sort of like more Americanized ideal of like capitalist culture and new buildings and all this sort of stuff. And you know, it's really normal, at least in cities like where I'm from in Toronto or New York City or London, that neighborhoods that were predominantly working class like this one first become places where artists go for cheaper rent and a more like interesting and vibrant vibe. But then once the artists get there, it attracts money, because money wants cool. Money eats cool. Art thrives on authenticity that you find in a sort of like working class neighborhood, urbanism and all that sort of stuff. And then money sort of thrives on this sort of cool. Marketing thrives on making things look cool. So that's what's happened here, folks. And I think that it's a shame, because even like a place like Burrito Madre, which is like, some would argue it's not real Mexican food and stuff like that, but you know, it's now a Belgrade institution that has many locations around the city. They do quite well, I suppose. But even here in this neighborhood now, outside of the waterfront, on the other side of that sort of like sketchy park by the bus station, they have now closed. I've seen them opened up so many other places around town. But, you know, Burrito Madre seemed like a really cool, sort of affordable place always to me. And, you know, while it's not authentically Mexican, I like their food. I'm going to be honest. I like the freshness of the vegetables and stuff like that. And I was sad when I found out that this one is closed now. So there you have it, folks. Now, it seems the Belgrade Waterfront has taken over the Hotel Bristol. I have to tell you, folks, this used to be one of the last places where you could buy beer for 100 dinars. So, like, there was beer here up until maybe like 5 years ago for 100 dinars. It was one of those places where like the Hotel Royale in Dorchel, where you could go at any time in the night. I'm not sure specifically that this one was open all night, but the Hotel Royale definitely was before they renovated, and just really like be in this old school Yugo hotel drinking beer with a bunch of other people who were there because it's cheap, quirky, loud, proud, and just sort of had an authenticity. Now, what's it gonna look like after there's the renovation by the Belgrade Waterfront project? I think we're gonna see that it's nothing like it should be. Anyways, this block, a very special place to me, because this used to be where the Green Studio Hostel used to be, which I think was can't remember which unit it was specifically, but probably this one, but it might have been this one. But yeah, one of these two units essentially used to be a hostel that sort of like was the last, well, maybe not the last, but it inherited this sort of like crowd of people, super eager locals meeting foreigners, and this Belgrade party hostel scene that really, when I came here for the first time and encountered that scene in 2007, it was Three Black Cats hostel in Chica Ljubljana Street, right by the square. And it was a place that embodied this like emerging Belgrade as like a super cool capital for young people to come and explore. And I was a young person of about 25 or 24, yeah, when I first went there. And it was super cool. Everybody, all the locals were friendly, all the foreigners were like the types of cool backpackers who like everybody's like, what, you're going to Serbia? You're fucking crazy. And then you get here and everybody's so welcoming and it's so awesome, and you're just like, this is a city for me. And that's the vibe. And anyway, so the Green Studio Hostel was kind of a place that inherited that circle of friends that I was a part of. And Donovan was the American guy who ran that place, and I still work with him online in my company Support Adventure. And yeah, basically the locals were trying to get him out. And you know, the Waterfront project was trying to get everything like that, like the cool party hostel, whatever scene, out of here so they could build this stuff. Like that's a building they took over. Now it's the Hotel Bristol, and now it's just like one thing after another, like just like closing down. And look at these other places here. It's like, okay, this yeah, this place isn't open. Doesn't look like there's anything going on here. I don't know. King Shake and Coffee. I don't know, nothing going on here. And also these places that have taken over these two units, one of the two was Donovan's place, Green Studio Hostel. Nothing going on. No culture, no vibe. And yeah, pretty soul has been destroyed. And then you have things like this, which is like bistro. Maybe, okay, to be honest, maybe some of these places are closed because it's August. That's probably true. Yeah, so it's not going to work into the end of August. But you see how the neighborhood is trying to transition itself into this like cool yuppie bistro sort of vibe, because that's what you know, it's no longer a place for cool backpackers, but those people have, I guess, since grown up and want things like I don't know, multi-concept bar, or all these places that serve, I don't know, some sort of foreign wine or something. And yeah, maybe I just didn't move on as much as the neighborhood did, or the other people in my generation. But yeah, see, like I am the sort of person, like I do I am the owner of an IT company and I do make money, and I can't afford to go to these places, but I would still like always at this point in my life choose to go to the places where there's still this sense of youth and artistic culture, which, I mean, this place is completely boarded up. If this was the Savamala it was like 10 years ago, I'm sure it would not be. Same with this place. It's just closed place after closed place after closed place. Yeah, they're doing the best to make this one look artistically closed. I don't know, folks. You tell me in the comments why this was, you know, better before, or do you like it now? Because I'm not really feeling much culture going on here today. Okay, best wine in Rakia Bar and Shot Vinoteca. This is the height of tourist season in Belgrade. Let's see if there's anything going on. Nope, it's closed. Okay, they're out of town. Okay, maybe I just picked the wrong time of year. And if you come back here in September, it'll be popping on a Saturday night, Saturday evening right now. Definitely ain't popping. Hype Nightclub and Remix Gastro Bar. This used to be Mixer House. I liked Mixer House. It was a place where you could feel an authentic sort of like true Belgradian culture, and their curiosity for different stuff going on and different sort of stuff that you now have had Doma Mladina, like cheese festivals, wine festivals and stuff like that. It was a place where you could do all sorts of different things. I played a concert there once. They had other concerts that I really enjoyed. And you know what, I honestly don't remember when there was the last time I came and enjoyed a concert in this neighborhood. Because there aren't that many venues anymore. Yeah, so I don't know. Looks like the Belgrade Waterfront Sava Promenade has won, folks. That seems to be the assessment. But at least you can still get your car washed. At least you can still, I don't know, have this sense of the working class culture that once pervaded here. Also, the stuff that was all here at the waterfront before, it was mostly like a ruined sort of rail yard, but by the river there, where it's now the promenade, there were some incredibly interesting kafana type places and like tuck shop for fishermen type places. Now, this is the street where all the, which kind of was the center of the cool culture. And again, you can see stuff looking like it's boarded up. Portuguese restaurant, which I've never been to, but I suppose it could be nice. And you can see that they still have this sort of like street art, sort of graffiti sort of look on this street. But it looks more and more, you see, like the buildings were always like having like crumbling facades and all this sort of stuff. But now, like, it used to be like fresh street art on crumbling facades. Now it's like crumbling facades with the street art from 10 years ago, kind of crumbling with it. And that's kind of sad, folks, because it proves that this is not a place where artists want to be anymore. And that maybe even some of these places can't even afford, well, I'm extrapolating and, you know, making this up. They can't even afford or don't see a point of getting new street art made and paying some new people to do like some new cool stuff like this here, because they know, yeah, it's only a matter of time before the people from the Belgrade Waterfront come and like, hey, what's your price? Get out of here. I'm gonna buy you out so we can turn this more into gentrified nonsense. Kutsograd, another place where they still have culture, actually. They still have concerts and stuff like this. I haven't been in a while. It's probably the same. Sponsored by Tuborg, though. I mean, is being sponsored by a foreign beer really that cultural? I don't know. But it seems like stuff is happening. Yeah, there's still concerts going on and all that stuff. Beer garden, but yeah, probably not as lively as before. I don't know, you tell me. Have you been to Kutsograd lately? I played there once. I wasn't that happy with the sound, but the crowd and the energy was pretty good. I guess I played in like 2014, maybe 15. Anyways, pizza. This is actually a thing that just like stole a Canadian pizza company's logo, or maybe they're a franchise of that, I don't know. And yeah, this is sort of like a ruined building, which was always a ruined building, but they used to actually do some cool events in here, as I remember. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I reached the bridge here, and I just wanted to say that my conclusion is that the Belgrade Waterfront project has definitely succeeded in destroying the culture of Savamala, and I'm sure it will never be vibrantly artistic and youthful as it was before. So tell me what you think. Maybe you disagree with me about some things or everything, or maybe you're just somebody who for the first time got a good job as a software developer for 3,000 euros a month, and you just want to get an apartment in the waterfront, and you're fine with a sterile, clean lifestyle as long as you can have, like, you know, that standard of living. Write that in the comments below. Why do you live in waterfront? Why do you live there? And what's appealing to you about it? Because this neighborhood used to be appealing a lot to people like me. Yes, it was raw. Yes, it was rough around the edges and sort of like a weird mishmash of things, but they existed sort of like harmoniously together. And now It's a weird mishmash of things with one dominant thing, which is encroaching and destroying everything else. I don't know if it will be good for the economy, good for the city and stuff like this, but to me, this neighborhood is almost, and I'll say almost because, you know, there's still a couple places that might have cool events that I might want to go to sometime, and I still might have a good night and a good crowd or whatever like that. But otherwise, walking down the streets as you see today, okay, it's August, maybe it'll be back in October, September, whatever, but it's not the same, folks. Tell me about your favorite memory in Savamala in the comments. What was the one that you feel you can no longer enjoy here, and what's the one you feel you can enjoy now? So yeah, and there's also a bunch of places this way as well, which I won't cover in this video because it's quite long. Thanks for watching, folks. This is Belgrade Beat. If you like the channel, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.